Good evening and welcome to Joy News Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlimli. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and around the world at myjoyonline.com. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Tonight, NDC National Chairman hits back at the minority over politicization of the $214 million loss, saying it's marks of desperate attempts to smear the government with fabricated scandals. Also coming up, Chief Imam calls for calm as agitating Muslims reject Mosque closure of the whole Central Mosque for investigations into the earlier disturbances. And President John Mahama will tonight deliver his first New Year message as Ghanaians ring in 2026 with hope and optimism. We also have business, and coming up there says Commissioner General of GRA describes new value-added tax as game changer to revenue mobilization as he declared readiness to charge the reduced tax from today. We also have sports, showbiz and world news in the 60-minute bulletin. Remember, we're your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Don't go away. Details now. The national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, has waded into the $214 million loss incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the Gold for Reserves program. According to him, the politicization of the loss smacks of desperate attempts to smear the government with fabricated scandals. Kwame Yanka has more from the 4th commemoration of the 31st December Revolution in Ada.
The 34th anniversary commemoration of the 31st December 1981 revolution at Adan unfolded in two main parts. The first segment featured lighting of the perpetual flame, symbolizing reverence for fallen heroes, fidelity to the founding principles of the revolution, and the enduring resilience of its ideals. This was followed by laying of wreaths in honor of those who sacrificed their lives for the revolutionary cause. Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman laid the first wreath on behalf of the people of Ghana, followed by representatives of security services, cadres, traditional authorities, market women, fishers, among other groups. The Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, Dr. Zaneto Agyeman Rawlings, also laid the wreath in honor of the central figure of the 31st December Revolution, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who was also the founder of the National Democratic Congress. The second part of the event featured speeches reflecting on the legacy of the revolution and Ghana's current socio-political landscape. In his address, NDC National Chairman Johnson Esiedun Ketia criticized the New Patriotic Party over deliberate attempt to taint the government with scandals, including the $240 million loss. The government is earning widespread commendation for its clean record, having so far avoided any major scandal in its first year. This has clearly unsettled the opposition, who appear determined to manufacture controversy at all costs. President John Mahama, Bank of Ghana Governor Johnson Esiama, and Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi have implemented practical solutions to challenges that the NPP administration under Nana Akufo-Addo struggled with throughout its 8 years in office. Dr. Zaneto Agyeman Rawlings, in her remarks, urged the party to guard against decisions and actions that undermine the core values and principles of the 31st December Revolution.
The responsibility on government is so huge to provide an enabling environment, one that is not drowning in corruption or nepotism or ethnicity or marginalization of members of this country. This country can only survive if we do it together, with dignity, with respect for one another, exhibiting those timeless principles of integrity, of transparency, of accountability, of probity. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to leave Ghana better than we found it, we have a duty to stick to those principles.
Meanwhile, Vice President Professor Jane Nano Pokuagyemang emphasized that the principles which shaped both Ghana's past and the ideological foundation of the NDC must continue to guide governance and national development.
And I'm using this to let us all know that there's so much we have survived. And we have survived that based on certain principles. And those principles still persist and they are still valid. Those principles have shaped our history as we have come along, including what we are celebrating today. The very important fact of holding ourselves together, of saying no to the wrong things and forging ahead with the values that matter.
The Chief Imam has firmly rejected calls from the Zongo community to reopen the whole Central Mosque, aligning with REGSEC's decision that religious activities cannot resume under the current security situation until lasting peace is restored between the disputing sides. The move to shut down the mosque has ignited anger among members of the Zongo community, who describe the continued closure as an affront to their constitutional right to worship and accuse the regional minister of acting unfairly and taking sides in a matter that has yet to see any resolution in the region. Before we hear from the Chief Imam Personal Assistant, Dr. Abubakar Mohammed Mazouk Azindo, here are excerpts from the Zongo community statement. According to the statement, the community strongly oppose and will resist the closure of the whole Central Mosque, a decision which they believe is influenced by the Volta regional minister. According to the community, for many years they've prayed peacefully in the mosque without incident. The peace of the mosque was only disrupted when the group led by Ali Muniru forcefully entered the mosque with armed men, during which gunshots were fired within the mosque's premises. This act endangered lives and violated the sanctity of a place of worship. Instead of ensuring adequate security and protection for the Muslim community after this violent incident, the actions of the regional minister appear to favor the Ali Muniru family rather than uphold justice, neutrality, and the rule of law. And they are asking the following questions. 1. What concrete actions has the regional minister taken since the shooting incident at the mosque? Also, were the perpetrators of the violence properly investigated and prosecuted? And why is a peaceful Muslim community being punished through the closure of its central mosque? And lastly, does the right to freedom of worship as guaranteed by the Constitution of Ghana no longer apply to the Muslims of Ho? These are the questions the Zongo community is asking, and is wishing to state clearly that the closure of the whole Central Mosque is unacceptable. The Muslim community of Ho will continue to demand justice, security, and respect for constitutional right to worship freely and peacefully, and is calling on the appropriate authorities, civil society organizations, and the media to take keen interest in this matter and ensure that fairness and justice prevail. And that was signed by Abdul Razak Abubakar, Secretary for the Zongo community in Ho. Now let's listen to Chief Imam Personal Assistant, Dr. Abubakar Mohammed Mazouk Azindo.
I see it as very unfortunate because I think it is a demonstration of the inability of some of us in the Muslim community to look at the issue holistically. First of all, we need to understand that it is not a mere issue of religion. It has become a multidimensional issue involving national security, societal stability, and criminal justice. And it is important for all of us to understand that, yes, everybody is entitled to constitutional rights and democratic freedoms. But we should also understand that these rights and freedoms are not in isolation. They are within the confines of safety. So in a situation where safety is not available, definitely it will be difficult for us to understand, to enjoy these rights.
Moving on, a severe traffic jam on the Accra-Kumasi highway forced police to divert vehicles through nearby towns, but the detours quickly became clogged, leaving commuters frustrated. Drivers complained of long delays and chaotic conditions on the secondary routes. Authorities say they are working to clear the gridlock and restore smooth traffic flow. More in the following report.
The traffic on the Accra-Kumasi highway brought vehicular movement to a near standstill, leaving hundreds of commuters stranded for hours. Police at the scene diverted traffic through alternative routes, directing vehicles through towns including Amunua Praso and Amanfukrum with the intention of reconnecting motorists to Nkoko. But the relief was short-lived. As traffic volumes increased along the bypass routes, congestion quickly built up, triggering yet another gridlock. Vehicles crawled bumper to bumper, with some motorists forced to switch off their engines as tempests flared and travel times doubled. Frustrated commuters say the lack of advance notice and limited road capacity along the diversion worsened the situation, turning what meant to be a temporary solution into another traffic nightmare. Police officers have since been deployed along the affected routes to manage the situation as efforts continue to restore smooth traffic flow on the main highway.
For the past 2 hours and
A member of parliament for Lambusi is calling for unity among the various ethnic groups in the district. Professor Titus Kofibeyu says tensions drive away critical manpower and slow development. At the 25th Mefeli Festival, he also urged government to complete the stalled Agenda 111 hospital and other key projects. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
The Mefele Festival, celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Lambusi traditional area, like many festivals in the northern Gulf of the country, is an agricultural festival. It is the 25th edition and brought together people from all walks of life, including paramount, divisional and sub-chiefs, Queen Mades, Ohalo Koro, and some prominent citizens from the area. The festival was held on the theme promoting of peace and unity among our varied cultures for tourism and economic development. Paramount Chief of the Lambusi traditional area, Koro Isaka Zengakazie Tangier II, commended the government for initiating several projects aimed at improving the economic well-being of the people. Notable among them is the rehabilitation of the Bubeda Dam.
We respectfully appeal to His Excellency the President to consider completing this vital facility. The investment is substantial and prolonged abandonment risks deterioration and loss of value due to weather and other environmental factors.
Lambusi Member of Parliament Professor Titus Kofibeyu, on his part, appealed to the people to coexist peacefully, devoid of any violence, stating that it is the surest way of promoting development.
Where ethnic tensions exist, we drive away civil servants and the critical manpower needed to promote development. Our traditional authorities have demonstrated their desire to maintain the peace of the land and the harmonious coexistence of all citizens. And we, the political actors, have given them our full support in this regard.
Professor Titus Bayu used the opportunity to account for his stewardship to the people almost a year after taking over office. Reporting for News, Rafiq Salam, Lambusi.
President John Mahama will tonight deliver his first New Year message as Ghanaians welcome 2026 with optimism. In Kumasi, some church leaders are reminding citizens to volunteer information to security agencies to safeguard peace as congregants pray for an incident-free year amid regional security threats. Nana Ojima has been observing the Christian community's prayers.
Aside from internal insecurity, threats of terrorist attacks through the country's borders have been a concern of the government. In some churches in the Ashanti regional capital, special prayers were said for peace and protection from external aggression. At the Redemption Assemblies of God, the service to welcome the new year, just like other churches, was characterized by praises and worship. The congregation, clad in white, worshipped the Maker for mercies in the previous years. The head pastor at Redemption Assemblies of God, Reverend Patrick Ajeman Jebi, in a New Year's message, tasked members to play their part in nation building, emphasizing the need to support government efforts for cohesion.
People in government and people in opposition will come together to build the nation, and also individual members of the nation. We should also do our best to make sure that we put Ghana first in all that we do, because if we lose the unity that we have, if we lose, the cohesion and the love that which is keeping us together as Ghanaians, then we may have lost everything. And so I believe that God will protect the nation from terrorism. God will protect the nation and protect our borders, so that any infiltration of the devil within the nation or from the borders, whether north, south, east, and west, may the angels of God strike them and prevent them from coming in to create problems within the nation.
At Aduato Church of God, Bishop Ernest Anane Asare did not leave out unity in his message of peace. He believes living together in unity is essential in making the country prosperous.
The basis of Christianity is vertical and horizontal relationship. You cannot say that you love God, you want to realign with God without realigning with your fellow being. So God wants us to build relationship with our fellow men, so also we can build relationship with God. And so it's very important as Ghanaians, especially the Christians, to learn to build relationship with each other, so that together we will build a very beautiful country that all of us are looking for.
For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
This is Joy News Prime. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, government has inaugurated a new passport application center in Techiman to make passport services easier and closer to residents. The facility is expected to end long and costly travel for applicants. Bono East Regional Correspondent Anasa Beat reports.
This is the newly commissioned passport application center here in Techiman, a building that symbolizes a major shift in how government services are delivered. Just hours ago, this place was buzzing with celebration as the Deputy Foreign Minister James Jechi-Kwesin cut the ribbon, marking the end of a long wait for thousands in this region who travel several kilometers to Sunyani, Kumasi or Tamale to acquire their passports.
For many years, residents of Bono East were compelled to travel long distances to access passport services. This situation undoubtedly imposed financial burdens, disrupted economic activities, and in some instances discouraged legitimate international travel for trade, education, and professional advancement, among others. The establishment of this passport application center is a direct response to those challenges.
The minister didn't just speak, he demonstrated. 8 applicants became the first to receive their passports right here, skipping the old burdensome travel. And it's inside here where the real difference will be felt. This modern facility is designed for a smoother, digital-friendly application process. Bono East Regional Minister Francis Osuantwi noted that this is a direct fulfillment of the President's vision.
This facility is a testament to the President's commitment to bringing services closer to the people of the good people of Bono East region. The President Mahama's led administration focus on infrastructure development and ease of access to essential services is truly making a difference.
Our region. Honorable Deputy Minister, on behalf of the good people of the East region, I say we are proud to see this project come live, creating opportunity for the people and enhancing our regional connectivity.
The significance wasn't lost on traditional and community leaders who highlighted the economic and social impact. Nana Boache Amiao Pentemprem II is the Nifahene of the Techiman Traditional Council.
I say we thank all of you to be here today and to help commission this project.
The mood here is one of gratitude for students, traders and families in Bono East and neighboring areas. A major logistical and financial hurdle has just been removed.
It will lessen our plight, our traveling distance, what have you, and it will also create more enormous comfort for the residents of Techiman and the Bono East as a whole. In fact, I'm very much overwhelmed and excited for getting passport office here because it has been brought here. Or it will be, the accessibility will be easier for the youth and those who want to get access to this passport.
Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Well, more than 5,000 vulnerable people began their New Year's Day enjoying support packages provided by the Jospin Group, turning the start of 2026 into a moment of joy and relief for households most in need. Executive Chairman Dr. Joseph Siao Ejipong was on one hand to personally serve the beneficiaries. My colleague Michelle Latte reports.
The annual exercise held on New Year's Day saw beneficiaries receive essential food items, including rice, mackerel, cooking oil, soft drinks, as well as transportation allowance. Recipients shared their joy and gratitude with Joy News.
And we are so grateful for everything. We thank him so much because he has been doing a lot. Some people don't have food to eat, so through this they are going to get food.
I thank him so much. God should continue to bless the work of his hands, so he continues doing good.
Daddy, why are you? Or the Yasha, see or no? Mama, you move. Oh, yeah. Tin tomatoes, sardine, Yakodi. This was my food for an.
Today, you give me job, you give me money, 100 cedi. Thank you too much.
Dr. Ejipong reminded Guineans to place their trust in God and embrace positive attitudes as they start the year.
So I'm admonishing everyone, every Ghanaian, we have started the year 2026. Reliance on God, dependence on God, humility and patience. The Lord will carry you through.
Michelle Latte's report read to you.
Well, Glyco Health Insurance has donated 100,000 Ghana cedis to the Pediatric Oncology Unit of Kolebu Teaching Hospital to support cancer treatment for children. Mama V. Sefafo K has the rest of the story.
The Oncology and Pediatric Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has received a significant support from Glyco Health Insurance Limited as part of the company's strategic initiative to ease the burden of treating childhood cancers at the facility. Chief Executive of Glyco Health Insurance Limited, Mami Efriye Boachi Nelson, indicated that the support is a long-term initiative.
This initiative is part of Glyco Health's core values. Last year, we committed to supporting the Pediatric Oncology Unit, supporting them with their medical bills, supporting them with food, supporting their families, and for the children to live their lives to the fullest. And this is part of our strategic direction, and we are in this for the long term. We are going to support them, not just last year, not this year, but going forward. We are going to support them because it's part of our strategic direction and initiative.
A beneficiary of the support and fundraiser for the unit's Chief Director of Lifeline for Childhood Cancer Ghana, Ikuya Sapong, outlined the impact of the intervention on the facility.
One of our big challenges is space to treat our children with cancer. Currently in Kolebu, we only have a 24-bed space with patient counts of up to about 280 new cases each year. Lifeline has started the construction of a bigger project. We've gotten ambitious, and we're building a 40-bed center in Kolebu for pediatric oncology. It's going to be a dedicated space. It's going to have everything. We need a dedicated space where they feel safe to ensure that they carry on with the treatment, and then we can all hope for better outcomes and, more survival for our children with cancer.
The support is expected to significantly ease the burden of childhood cancer treatment.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Now it's time for business here on Prime News. My name is Winston Taki. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi Sapon, has assured that beginning today, January 1st, 2026, the authority will begin charging the new VAT rate of 20%, down from the previous 21%. According to him, the reduction is aimed at simplifying VAT payment for businesses and service providers, while also boosting domestic revenue mobilization.
If the VAT threshold was 200,000 some years back. So if you look at it in monetary value terms, that 200,000 has changed in value, and therefore it's so important to align it and move it to 750. And also to bring parity into the system, we have removed the flat rate so that everybody consuming will be eligible to pay the standard rate and the standard levies. That brings a parity into the system. We believe that with a lot of administrative measures and with the reforms that have taken place, VAT is going to be the game changer as far as revenue generation in this country is concerned. And we're looking forward to work with businesses, to work with taxpayers, to ensure that we understand the tax obligations on VAT. We accept our obligations, and every consumer in this country, when they are buying an item, will demand and ask for a VAT invoice. That would be a game changer. And that's for that reason, we are going to also implement along the lines 2 major initiatives in the course of 2026. One, the introduction of fiscal and electronic devices into the collection of VAT. This is a law that has been in our books for 2028. The minister has announced that in 2026, we should implement it, and we're going to go ahead to implement it. When that is done, the automation alone will help us to be able to increase coverage, increase efficiency and effectiveness in knowing the consumption levels where VAT is applicable and also collecting it. The second one is also the introduction of the reward schemes, which will be implemented along the Fiscal Electronic Devices Act. So that one, it will be a scheme for consumers. And it's a scheme that will ensure that as Ghanaians, as residents, we demand our VAT invoice every month or whatever period that we set. A reward a reward scheme will be in place, and consumers who are eligible will receive those rewards. We want to use that to encourage and to build a culture of demanding our VAT invoice. And when we do that, revenue will come in. Individuals will benefit and will generate the necessary domestic revenue.
Away from that, First Bank has extended its New Year goodwill message to customers, thanking them for their loyalty and assuring them of continued innovation, improved service delivery and value creation in the year. Victor Yao Asante is Managing Director of First Bank Bank.
My name is Victor Asante, First Bank Managing Director. I'm here to wish you a very happy 2026. We can only thank the good Lord for taking us through 365 days of 2025 with all the issues, but we're resilient and we think we managed to go through the year, and we are grateful. Now we face up to the next year with new possibilities. And we expect that with the same kind of attitude, determination, and dedication, we should have a fantastic 2026. We thank you all, our customers, we thank our staff, we thank the general public for being part of our journey. We promise that in 2026, it is still about you first, whilst we hope the good Lord guides us through what should be an exciting year. Happy New Year once again, and see you in the banking hall.
That's all for business. My name is Winston Taki. We have more news for you right after this break. Keep watching.
Hi there, welcome to the sports segment. Let's get to the AFCON now. And Gabon's government has suspended the national football team, also banned star Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and dismissed head coach Thierry Muyuma following the country's disappointing exit from the African Cup of Nations. The decision was announced by the sports minister, Mambula, during a national television address after Gabon's defeat by Ivory Coast in their final Group F match of the tournament. Gabon, who are coached by former national team defender Muyuma, had already been eliminated after losing their opening 2 fixtures against Cameroon and Mozambique. Despite that, they appeared on course for a consolation victory in their final game, taking a 2-0 lead against defending champions Ivory Coast. However, a dramatic collapse saw them concede 3 goals and suffer defeat against a largely second-string Ivorian side. The result and overall campaign have sparked heavy criticism at home, with growing concerns about long-standing structural and administrative problems within Gabonese football. The team finished bottom of their group in Morocco, and Mabula described the earlier defeats to Cameroon and Mozambique as disgraceful, saying the performances fell short of national expectations. Government intervention signals a major shake-up as officials seek accountability and reforms in the wake of another early tournament exit. Now, the fixtures for the round of 16 is now set, and let's take a quick look at that. South Africa will be facing Cameroon in the round of 16. Then you have Mali and Tunisia also facing off, and then Senegal will play Sudan, which is being coached by Ghana's James Akwesi Appiah. And you've got Egypt also in action against Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire will also be playing Burkina Faso. Then Nigeria will face Mozambique, and Algeria will play DR Congo. Then Morocco will face Tanzania, and South Africa against Cameroon. So you could see the map already. The winner of the game between South Africa and Cameroon will face the winner of Morocco and Tanzania. Algeria and DR Congo, the winner will face Nigeria and Mozambique. And Egypt and Benin, the winner will face Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. And Mali and Tunisia, also the winner facing Senegal and Sudan. So this is the round of 16 and the road to the final. And the games, of course, will kick-start this coming weekend. Let's turn attention to some European football now. And Chelsea, they have relieved their head coach Enzo Maresca of his duties. And at the moment, Strasbourg manager Liam Rosenoir is the leading contender for the job after Enzo Maresca vacated his office. Now, former Leicester boss Maresca left his role as Chelsea head coach earlier today amid internal tensions with the club's hierarchy and ownership. The process to replace the Italian is underway, and his understood Englishman Rosenoir is the front runner, though sources have stressed other candidates are also under consideration. Well, Sky Sports Cave has more on this.
My information is that Chelsea will appoint a new permanent head coach in a matter of days. I've been asking the question, who's going to be in charge against Manchester City on Sunday? I'm being told we're not going to answer that question for the time being. But I'm also being told that this appointment is not going to take weeks. The words used in the conversations with me were, it will be a matter of days. And I was asking the question, is it going to be Liam Rosenior? Is it going to be Liam Rosenior? Everyone expects it to be Liam Rosenior. That he doesn't have very much experience in English football. His only job has been at Hull City. I was told, well, look at Enzo Maresca. How much experience did he have of managing in the Premier League? Absolutely none. So I think there's a feeling at Chelsea that it wouldn't be that much of a risk to turn to Liam Rosenior. But of course, it would be a massive step up for him to go from Strasbourg in Ligue 1 to managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. Obviously, some people at Chelsea think that possibly he could handle that step up. Having said that, I'm being told that it's not definitely going to be Liam Rosenior. He's just one of the candidates.
Well, that's all we have for you in sports. Up next is entertainment. Please stay with us.
Good evening. It's time for Showbiz. 2025 is over and many Ghanaians are looking ahead with hope and big dreams. From career leaps to personal milestones, they share the expectations ahead of the year.
I'm expecting the economy to be stable like the way it is.
The country has been stable, inflation has been stable, dollar rate has been stable. I think businessmen, as us, we are okay. 2026, we believe government is going to release money to the system and continue to maintain the dollar rate for us. That is key to us as businessmen.
First of all, pray for long life, good health, because when there is life, there is hope. Then I pray for more money, because with money, I believe there will be a smile on your face. The government, they should improve more in creating job opportunities to help the youth. That's all. Because I see the youth are suffering. You know, some people that is doing bad things, it's not that they don't know it's bad. They know just that there is no job there to do.
Personally, I'm expecting massive changes in my life. In a whole, I'm expecting Ghana to move forward. Okay, you know, we have had new president not long ago, and he has so ambitions for Ghana. And looking at what he has done in few months, almost a year, I think 2026 is really going to do a lot. So I also support the president and also our cabinet in prayer so that they will be able to achieve massive for Ghana.
Hey, abayin biya oba, hey, transport, hey, adie baako. Oh, buses na, a friend saying, I alolo buses na egu Achimota terminal ho na ese no. On fan to akwan ne so na yen adwuma na yen so yen ho toy. Hwe free meti Ashoman Estate. Free circle eko Ashoman Estate me fa car 3. Aden. Oh, me free Ashoman Estate e besia akwa Accra. Yes me fa car si Domi from Domi to Achimota, from Achimota to circle, from circle to Accra. Sa buying the buses atoso. And every estate e besia kwa Accra straight ah. Me so me ho beto me.
I wish the economy will be stabilized so that whatever that we want to, or whatever that we put in, we can achieve well. And we want the government to do things so that the way the dollar is going, we want it to maintain it in that way so that at least whatever the lesser amount that we have, and we can invest more.
Yes, say obey amanyama bafem because though say dollar be an ofem, but still you bottom no, and said I'm yes ah. You be hope say next year no. Obet my baby, I two force in there. Now why am I there? Dawson. Now no call that and they were queen pa. But two is forcing.
The new government so far so good. A lot of things we are expecting from them as citizens. They are able to touch on them. So performance-wise, I will give him 8/10 for now. So the new year coming, we are expecting more. Because we ask for, the citizens, most of us, the only thing we want is availability of water, fuel price should be down, so that we can also go about our daily businesses and all that.
Dollar no, any stable my petrol na yes January ya better so no yes so but ejadifo no moma ye hu se aban ni ye ejuma nti ye tinya mo aso omuso omonte so na ye hu he ha ye kakra ya mo bia Happy New Year.
All right, so we've heard from the people. That's all I have for you tonight on Showbiz. Back to you.
Thank you, Irene. You're looking pretty as usual.
Thank you.
And that was entertainment. But that's how we wrap up today's edition of Joy News Prime. Thanks for your company.